Hello, this is Agbamu Idonogwene. I am here to present a lesson in mathematics titled Latitude and Longitude. And in today's class, my objectives are to define latitude and longitude, to identify lines of latitude on a sphere, and to identify lines of longitude on a sphere. Then use the lines of latitude and longitude to locate points on a sphere. Okay, let's go straight to the class. So let's start with longitude and latitude. When we talk about longitude and latitude, what do we really mean? Longitude and latitude are a system of lines used to describe the location of any place on the earth. Most times we apply longitude and latitude in aircraft. When the pilots they are moving on the air, they try to move through the lines of latitude and longitude in order for them to locate their point and to locate their position of where they are going to. So let me just give you a sample of how the earth looks like so that you know what we mean by longitude and latitude. So you can see the sample of the earth. Let me spin it so that you can see it. Okay, you can see how the earth rotates. You can see it. See the rotation. Then as it's turning, you can see the lines. The line that runs from the North Pole. Here you can see the North Pole down to the South Pole. You can see these vertical lines. They are the lines of longitude. While the one that runs east-west, you can see the earth is turning from west down to east. You can see the way it's rotating. Then this line that runs horizontal from west to east like this, you can see them. They are the lines of latitude. So this is how the earth rotates, having these lines of longitude and latitude. And pilots try to navigate through these lines in order for them to locate their point on the earth's surface. So I think you can see it clearly here. Let me stop the rotation. Okay, there are other features you need to understand before we move to the main idea of the topic, longitude and latitude. You can see some angles here. You can see 0 degrees here. You can see 45 degrees, 90 degrees. So we shall explain that as we move ahead with the class. Alright, let's go back to our write-up. So combination of latitude and longitude will help you to describe or to locate a point on the earth's surface. Okay, now let's start with latitude on its own now. The first point we have here is latitude are lines, or you say lines of latitude. We also call them parallel of latitude. I shall explain that as we move on. So they are lines drawn on the earth's surface having their center on the axis of the earth. So let's see this animation here. So this is the globe, how the earth looks like. This is just a sphere. So what we mean by the axis, let me put the axis so that you can see it. You can see the axis now. You can see the axis running from the top of the earth down the bottom here, which signify the North Pole and the South Pole. So from our definition here, we said lines of latitude are also called parallel of latitude, and we say they are lines that are drawn on the earth's surface having their center on the axis of the earth. So what this definition is talking about is this: that when you take this axis, like for example I'm turning it close to us, when I take this axis as my center and I draw a circle around, so any line I'm going to get here is called the latitude. But let me show you here. So this is latitude now. You can see the title is parallel of latitude because they are all parallel. You can see them starting from the North Pole. You can see the way the lines go around. You can see it. Let me turn it to face us directly here. You can see it. You see, this is the center of the Earth. This is the polar axis, the North Pole. You can see the circle. This is the lines of latitude. You see, this is bigger than this. The radius of this, you can see, is higher than this first one. So it keeps going until it gets to the larger or the largest one at the center. So until you get to this bigger one here, and that is the highest you can get to, then it will start reducing downward again. You can see it to start reducing downward till it goes down to the South Pole. So these lines are called lines of latitude. So you take note of this. Let's go back to our write-up. Then we say there are circles parallel to the equator and they are measured in degrees. So these lines of latitude that you see just now, these lines of latitude, they are all parallel to the equator. I remember the other time I told you that the circle keeps increasing from the tip here, from the north. As you can see, it keeps increasing till it gets to the larger one. So the larger one is the one we call the equator. Let me put it here so that you can see it clearly. You can see it now. So this is the equator. So the equator is also a latitude, but it's the largest latitude you can get. And most times we also call it a great circle because it's also giving us the total radius of the Earth. So the equator is also called a great circle and is the largest latitude we can get. And the angle of this equator is 0 degrees because it's the reference latitude. You can see it in the write-up now. You can see the equator is an imaginary line that lies halfway between the North Pole and the South Pole. You can see the equator. You can see it lies halfway. You can see it when I turn it to face us directly. You can see it's the largest you can see. You can see it in hidden lines here. When you turn it in this view, you can see when I make it face us directly on the front view, you can see that this is the line of equator and it divides the Earth into two hemispheres. The northern hemisphere, the one towards the North Pole, and the southern hemisphere, the latitude towards the South Pole. You can see that every other lines are smaller than the equator. That is one thing you should take note of. And all the latitude, they are parallel to the equator. They don't meet at all. They are all parallel. You can see the lines. You can view it very well here. Okay, we said the equator is an imaginary line that lies halfway between the North Pole and the South Pole. So it divides the Earth into two hemispheres. You saw it in the demonstration there. Then we said the northern and the southern hemisphere. Then the equator is also called the Great Circle and it's a reference latitude with 0 degrees. Just like the way we plot our graph. Let me just show you a sample of graph. When you are plotting your graph, you can see the way you plot your graph. When you are trying to locate any point towards the y-axis, see the y-axis, positive, negative, you need a reference point which is 0 degrees or which is the zero line. You need, this is your reference line. So from this reference line you can start rising up 1, 2, 3, just like that. You locate your point on this side, then on the negative side you start counting -1, -2, just like that. So that is the same thing we do in longitude and latitude. So the latitude is the reference, the equator is the reference latitude of 0 degrees. You can even see it in the demonstration, 0 degree latitude. If I put the custom latitude, you can see it. If I say show latitude angle, you can see the equator is 0 degrees. I think you can see it inside here, 0 degrees. Then every other latitude, the ones up, like towards the north, their angles keep increasing until they get to the highest, which is 90 degrees. Then every other latitude downward, the angle keeps increasing downward until it gets to the South Pole, which is 90 degrees. So you can see it here. Then we say the equator is also called the Great Circle and it's a reference latitude with 0 degree. So it runs east to west all the way around the Earth. Then we say lines of latitude north of equator are numbered from 1 degree to 90 degree north. Then lines of latitude south of equator are numbered from 1 degree to 90 degrees south. This is very, very important. Let me demonstrate it here so that you can see it. You can see the 0 degree latitude. This is our reference line. So if you are looking for a point on this top, that means you are going to start movement from here, just like your graph. You start from the x-axis. So the latitude is like the x-axis in the sphere, in the surface of the earth. So let me move upward so that we can see it. See, let me move it very fast. See, this is 2 degrees. You can see how it's rising up and the radius is getting smaller. 6, 7, 16 degrees. You can see. So this is how the latitude will keep going until you get to the tip, which is 90 degrees. You can see the angle is rising. Then the equator still remains 0 degrees. It's our reference. Then every other latitude we keep rising till you get to the highest, which is 90 degrees. You can see it very well till you get to the tip, 90 degrees. So that is what we mean by this statement here, that the lines of latitude north of equator are numbered from 1 degree to 90 degree north. The lines of latitude south of equator are numbered from 1 degree to 90 degree south. You can see it here. So this is towards north. You can see 90 degree north. Then as you keep coming down, you can see it's dropping down 78, 63 degree north. To keep going like that till you cross over to south. See, immediately I cross over to the south pole, you can see it is 0 degrees. 1. You can see south is now going down. To keep going till it gets to 90 degrees south. So take note of that. So that is it. Then you keep rising again. You can see how the circle is going bigger till we attain the largest at 0 degrees. It will now be at the same point with the equator. So when you view it in this way, you can see how it keeps going. You can see the circle is getting smaller till you get to 90 degrees. Then it gets bigger till you achieve the biggest, which is the equator. See, just like that. Alright, so take note of this. So this is lines of latitude. So take note of this. Okay, now let's go to longitude. Let's see what longitude is all about. So longitude. So longitude are also lines. So the lines of longitude runs between the North Pole and the South Pole. So these lines are also called meridians or great circle. So like lines of latitude, meridians are measured in degrees. So longitude are also measured in degrees. So let me demonstrate it here so that you can see it well. So this is also the globe. Then these are the meridians, which is also the longitude. You can see it. You can see they run from the North Pole down to the South Pole. You can see it. See the down, the South Pole. So if you turn it like this, you see the North Pole. So this is the North Pole. You can view it. You can see the way the line goes. See why we call them great circle. For example, let's take this line for example. You can see this, if you trace this one, you can see that it moves from the North Pole. See how it goes round to the South Pole and rise up again down to the North Pole. You can see all of them, they do the same, just like that, and they pass through the North and the South Pole. So take note of that. Okay, then we said just like the equator is the reference of latitude, we also have reference of longitude, which is called the Greenwich or the prime meridian. See, it's also 0 degrees. It also divides the Earth into two hemispheres, the eastern and western hemispheres. So this longitude, this reference longitude is called the Greenwich Meridian. On the surface of the Earth, it passes through the Greenwich point of London. So that one in your geography class, I will explain all those ones for you. Know this mathematics. You just need it for reference purpose. When we want to do calculations, we shall need this point, the 0 degrees longitude and latitude. So take note of that. So let me show you the lines of the prime meridian. So you can see it here. You can see the prime meridian. If I put the angle so that you can see it, see 0 degrees. If I say show the angle, you can see it's 0 degrees. So this is the prime meridian. You can see it. This is how it is. Divide the Earth into two hemispheres. See, there's an hemisphere here. This side is east, while this side is west. The western hemisphere and the eastern hemisphere. So these are 0 degree. So you take note of that. Okay, let's move on. You see, other lines of longitude describe positions east and west of the prime meridian. You can see it. So when this prime meridian now divides the Earth into two, you can see it. So every other longitude, you see these ones on the right here on the east side, so they're on the eastern side. Then you see the other ones here, they're on the western side. So that is what this statement is trying to say here. The other lines of longitude describe positions east and west of the prime meridian. Then this point is very important. Say lines of longitude east of the prime meridian are numbered from 1 degree to 179 degree east. Remember, for latitude we say 90 degrees the highest, but you can see this one is going to 179 degree east, while the one towards west of the prime meridian is numbered from 1 to 179 degree west. Then before I show you the animation, let me just tell you what the 180 means. So the 180th meridian or the 180 degree is the line of longitude exactly opposite the prime meridian. So let me demonstrate so that you understand it. So this is the prime meridian. Let me turn it so that you can view and see the angle. See, 0 degrees. So if I move towards the east, you can see how it's turning. So any longitude on the east side of the prime meridian, you can see the angle will keep increasing till you get to 180 degree. That's where it will stop, and the 180 degree will be opposite to the prime meridian. That's what this point is trying to say, that the 180 degree is the line of longitude exactly opposite the prime meridian. You can see it. So when they say the longitude is 20 degree east, all they just want you to do is locate your prime meridian, which is your 0 degree. Then on this point, you move 20 degrees towards east. That's what has just happened here. So you can see how we move 30 degrees, 32, see 76 degree east. You can see it's going backward. Let me turn it so that you can see it. You can see it keeps going. It will continue till you get to 180. It will now be opposite to the longitude. It's 108. You can see it. So the 180th degree is directly opposite the prime meridian. You can see it directly opposite, and they form a perfect circle that divides this sphere into two halves. You can see it. See the prime meridian, then the 180th meridian, which is this. So it's directly opposite the prime meridian. So that is what this statement means by saying the 180th meridian or 180 degree is the line of longitude exactly opposite the prime meridian. So please take note of this. So this is the Meridians, you take note of them, also called the great circle or the longitude. Then let's move to the other side. So this is east. You can see when I got to 180 degrees, see the east left this place because that is the line directly opposite the longitude. Sorry, the prime meridian. You can see it. That's why they didn't put any sign here. Then when you move down, see 179 degree point 89 degree east. You can see I've started having angle, see, which is towards east. So it will keep going like that. To keep going down, you see it's closing down to zero, it's going to zero till it get to zero. 4 degrees to zero. If you move towards left, which is west, you see it will keep going. So when they say the longitude is 16 degree west, you can see you locate your prime meridian, the center 0 degrees, then you move towards west. It's a very simple thing. All we are doing in this topic is location of point, then they will not tell you to find the distance. But in today's class, we are stopping at location of point because that is the major significant. Locate point on the Earth's surface or on the surface of a sphere. You can easily get the distance using formula of length of an arc. So I think you can view it very well. You can see it. The 180 degree, you can see it directly opposite. You can see it, the prime meridian. So this is towards west. This is 120 degree west. You can see it. Take note of this. It is very, very important. So you come back to zero. With this kind of illustration, you can easily understand the lines of longitude and the lines of latitude. Let me remove this custom. Let me place this equator. You can see. So with this system, we can say the prime meridian, which is the line that runs from north to south, and the equator, the horizontal line that runs from west to east. So when you combine both of them, they can form a coordinate. So that is what I'm trying to say in this place. Okay. That's what I'm trying to say in this place under location of point, that these two numbers together are called coordinate. You can see it there. Because when they tell you to locate point on the Earth's surface, they must give you two lines, the lines of longitude, lines of latitude. You can see this for latitude north, then they will give you the other angle for longitude. You can see this is, see the other example, they will give you the lines of latitude. This one is south, you can see it S south, then they give you the other one west, which is longitude. They must give you the, just like your graph. Just like your graph, if you want to plot graph, you need the coordinate. You need the x and the y coordinate. For example, if I want to take a point, if I put this point here, you can see this point A. Just give me a minute, let me do a little setting. Then you see what I mean. Let's get name and value. If I put this point here, you can see it 4, 3. So this 4 is the x-axis. You can see it, 4 is on the x-axis. Then the second number here, 3, is on the y-axis. You can see. So this point A, so the coordinate of point A is 4, 3. So with these two coordinates, 4 and 3, with these two numbers, 4 and 3, you can locate point A. All you are saying is, let me pull it back to 0 so that you can see it. See, if I say locate point A, 4, 0, you can see how I'm moving along the x-axis. You can see it. I'm now in 4. See, just the way we plot our graph, that's what we do in longitude and latitude. You can see the 4 there, y is 0, x is 4. Then locate 3 on the y-axis, then I will now rise up down to 3. Just like that. You can see it. Then you now locate the point. Say this is a point. Then when you have another point, just like the way we plot our graph, when you have another point, you can now join the 2 points. For example, if I have another point, let me say I have a point on this side, You see x is 2, you can see it, while y is 7. You can see 2, 7. Then they can now tell you to join the 2 points. If you now join these 2 points, see, you now have a line A to B. You can see. Then they can tell you to find the distance. They can tell you to find the distance between these 2 points, A and B. Then you can use your distance between 2-point formula just like that. So it's similar to this topic, longitude and latitude. For example, this example I have here, point P, you can see 50° north, 80° east. If I want to locate this point now, all I need to do is I get my 2 reference points. You can see them. See, you can see this is fair, my latitude and my longitude. If I get my custom, show my angles, you can see. Let me show the other angle here. See, latitude, which is the red color, see 0°. You can see 0°. Then longitude, which is the purple color here, you can see it 0°. So with these 2 coordinates, you can move. For example, now this example I have here, if I say locate this point, 50° north and 80° east, you can see it. All I just need to do is 50°, the same way we do in graph. Since they said north, and north is towards up direction on this side, I just move 50°. You can see, move your line up 50°. That is it. You have located it. Then how do you locate the main point that you need now? The point P. How do you locate it? The 50 in the point P. Now you have located the first coordinate, which is 50° north. How do you locate P? Now you need 80°. And towards where? Towards east. You can see it towards east. Then you come to your longitude. East is right side. You start moving towards the right. You can see it till you get to 80°. You stop. Okay. So this 80°, you stop. So this is your point. You will now mark this point as your point P. So that's how you locate point on longitude. You can also ask to locate another point somewhere else. After locating the point, they will tell you to join. Then after joining, they will tell you to find the distance. That is the major thing we do in this topic. There's nothing so special about the topic longitude and latitude. You just need to know your basic mathematics and formulas, length of an arc, distance formula, time and speed. That is all. Then know how to locate point. That is it. So before we go for today's class, let me just show you this. We say latitude and longitude together can describe the exact location of any place on the earth. We say for example, let's say you are looking for Abuja now, and from our research we discovered that Abuja lies at 9.07° north of the equator. See, so which is above the equator towards north, then 7.48° east of the prime meridian. That is prime meridian. Now you move right side towards the east, then its position is this. Now that means this is what they will give you as the coordinate of Abuja on the map of the world. So when you know these 2 coordinates, north 9.07°, east 7.48°. By the time you know these two angles, which are also like your coordinate, you can locate Abuja. So let me use this our map to locate Abuja on this place. Okay, let's start. We said Abuja is located. Let's get the first point. Let me label the first point here. So Abuja is located at where? Let's get the angle again. Say 9.07° north. All I need to do is 9.07. I will still put my slider here. See, I'm coming down. You can see this 22.5°. We are looking for 9.07. 9. This is 10. Let me move my slider gently. So we say 9.07 is 9. It's 9. Okay, let me just leave it. Since this one is arranged as one decimal, say 9.07. Let's take it at 9.1. You can see the point. You can see it. You see the 0 degrees prime meridian. You can see it from North Pole to South Pole. Then the equator, you can see it. Both of them meet at 0 degrees. You can see the other angles as it keeps going. The angle, the other latitude, the other longitude, you can see that they are increasing down, back. You can see it just like that. This 180 degrees. Okay, we have located the first point, 9.1 degree for Abuja. Since we are maintaining this software, I designed this one to be one decimal, and my question says 2 decimals, so I'm approximating to 1 decimal, which is 9.1 degree north. Then this is 7.48 degree east, which is 7.5 degree east. So all I need to do here is, okay, let me get this, the point. This is 7.48. We are in 3, 4. Just watch 7.48, which is 7.5. So this is 7.5. So this is Abuja is located on this place on the world map. Yes. So Abuja is located there. And if you are good in your map reading in geography, you know that Nigeria is around this region on the map of the world in Africa. You can see, so this is where you can locate Abuja. You can actually locate any point, any country on this with this world map. You can see some country here. You can see Afghanistan. But this is not our target in this class. You can see Angola, other region, Argentina, and the rest, Australia, Australia. You can locate them just to know their latitude and their longitude. Alright, this is how you locate point on the Earth's surface. Take note of this. Take note of this. So that is all I want us to learn today. That is all. But before we go, let me just show you something. You know what we just did now? I just used this software to demonstrate it. But on paper, if you want to locate point on paper, all you need to do is to get your compass. You draw your circle. You know you cannot submit your software in your exam hall. You locate your center. See, this is my center. Then draw your circle. You can see it. Then after doing that, you can get your ruler. You draw your horizontal axis. Okay. So this one will signify the latitude. Then rise up. Draw for the longitude, which is the prime meridian. So this one will signify your prime meridian. So take note of this. So you can just label your north, label your south, label your east, label your west. Then take here as your 0 degrees. So just assume this line as your prime meridian, north and south. Then assume this line as your equator. But if the questions say you should draw the equator, then you need to show it on using a line like this. But all you just need to do, like for example, this point we said we should locate 50 degree north, 80 degree east. If you want to represent it on paper so that your teacher can mark it, all you just need to do is, after drawing this, you say 50 degree north, just come up. Since we know that north is towards up, just come up, sketch like this. Make sure you label it. Put your 50 degrees. 50 degrees, very important. Put your 50 degree north. then we said 80 degree east. Then we know that east is on this side. Just come like this and sketch it. This is very, very important. So you are done. Then you mark this place, you label it as the point P. This is what we do on paper. But try and label this also so that the marker will know that this is the 80 degrees east. So take note of this. So this is what we do on paper. You cannot submit this software in your exam. So I've located point P. Point P is 50 degree north. You can see the line. You just make it down. Then 80 degree east. You can see it. Make it down. Then you label it. With this label, the teacher will understand. Since you cannot submit software like this or software like this, you can't submit things like this. We just need this for easy understanding of the topic. So I hope you understand what we did today. Just go through the video very well and carefully. There's nothing too difficult about it. This is just fundamental of the topic. There's nothing too difficult about it. This is just fundamental of the topic, longitude and latitude. So before we go, this summary of what we did. We define latitude and longitude. We say they are lines used to describe the position of places on the Earth's surface. We say lines of latitude, they are also called parallel of latitude, and they are drawn on the Earth's surface, having their center on the axis of the Earth. They will say the equator is also the reference latitude, like your X and Y axis. The equator serves like the X axis. Then the prime meridian serves as the Y axis, and the prime meridian is the reference of the longitude, which runs between the North Pole and the South Pole. And these lines are also called meridians of great circle. Take note, the equator is also called great circle because the largest latitude you can get is equal to the prime meridian. Take note of that. Then finally, we say, how do you locate point on the Earth's surface? So we do that by getting the two coordinates. The latitude will be given first before the longitude. Then with these two, you can locate any point. And after getting the point, then calculation can begin from there, and that will be in our next class. I want you to go through this video carefully. Make sure you follow the illustration, get it very well, then try and locate this point. That is your assignment. Point A is 64 degree north, so this is the latitude. Then 115 degree east, this is the longitude. So because you are not using software, you are using paper, you can use this format. North, 50 degree north, you can see it. 80 degree east. If it's west, come like this. If it's south, you come downward like this. Let me demonstrate that upside. If it's south, you come down like this. So this is south. Then you label it. Where it meets the longitude, you mark it. That is the point. So this is what we do on paper work. Even WAEC recommend this. You cannot represent a sphere very well on two-dimensional plane. So with this simple sketch, and you label it very well and make it neat, just use your instrument, your compass and your ruler, make it neat and fine construction, and your work will be okay. So take notes, do the assignment. Anything you don't understand, you can send me a message on my email. So thank you very much. Have a nice day. Take care.